Welcome to Level Up Awareness. Welcome to a bit of a different addition to the rest of my videos, but here we're still going to be making a difference, just trying to help humanity, help the people, you know. So this one here, as you can see, it is called The Truth in Plain Sight ? So yeah, obviously I'm just going to be going through a whole bunch of different facts and resources which I've done a little bit of research, which I'm just trying to give back to the people to have a look for themselves and to basically make up your own mind for yourself. So for anyone that hasn't seen any of my videos, a bit about me. So as you can see on the screen, all of my videos are basically about helping people. I've got some coronavirus awareness videos in there. I actually just started my channel right when the coronavirus started, just to help people with the fear kind of beginning of it. And the rest of them I'm just kind of going into other details of, as you can see, the art of forgiveness, defeating fear, obviously, not being hard on yourself, and just little tactics like deep belly breathing that can help you with stress. And obviously I've got a meditation there as well, which plenty more to come, don't you worry about that. But just wanting to give everyone an understanding of what I am. I'm just all about peace and love. I'm all about helping people, and I'm a very clear-minded, free-thinking individual, which turns into a very open-minded individual. And I'm just trying to spread that awareness to you guys, alright? Well, I hope that gave you a bit of a background about me and a bit of a background of what's about to happen. So I'm just about to give you some whole bunch of knowledge and a whole bunch of resources that I've backed up all my information from, and let's get straight into it, guys. So, the truth in plain sight ? Alright, so what if the truth about this strange moment in the world was in plain sight all along, and all you needed was a little nudge to truly understand what's really going on? If you'd like to know more, stay with me and open your mind to the following information. I'm glad you're staying with me, as I will be presenting many facts and references for you to make your own mind up and to do your own research. Alright, so let's start. Let's start with some interesting information regarding Bill Gates that may blow your mind. Alright, so Event 201 was a pandemic simulation exercise that the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation hosted in October 2019. That's right, October 2019. Alright, so going into this a bit deeper, the Event 201, the Johns Hopkins Center for Health Security, in partnership with the World Economic Forum and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, hosted Event 201, a high-level pandemic exercise on October 18, 2019. in New York, New York. The exercise illustrated areas where public/private partnerships will be necessary during the response to a severe pandemic in order to diminish large-scale economic and societal consequences. So as you can see, I've got the link for this at the top right in the red, so the Center for Health Security.org/Event 201. But I mean, this is something I needed to bring up because I found out about this literally the start of the coronavirus, and I was just like, that doesn't sit well with me at all. But anyway, I'm not going to give you my opinion. I want to give you the facts. And basically, so the two things that I've highlighted in red was, obviously the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation was involved. This pandemic simulation occurred in October 2019. Meanwhile, the first coronavirus case was reported in December 2019. Interesting? Anyone that organizes anything kind of knows that it doesn't just happen overnight. They didn't organize this on the 18th of October. Who knows how long this was planned for. Let's continue though. So about the 201 exercise. So Event 201 was a 3.5-hour pandemic tabletop exercise that simulated a series of dramatic scenario-based facilitated discussions confronting difficult true-to-life dilemmas associated with response to a hypothetical but scientifically plausible pandemic. 15 global business, government, and public health leaders were players in the simulation exercise that highlighted unresolved real-world policy and economic issues that could be solved with sufficient political will, financial investment, and attention now and in the future. The exercise consisted of pre-recorded news broadcasts, live staff briefings, and moderated discussions on specific topics. These issues were carefully designed in a compelling narrative that educated the participants and the audience. Got a bit of a red highlight over the hypothetical was the thing that that one highlighted thing that I had, but I was like, you know what, I'll make it a bit bigger. But yeah, the hypothetical was pretty significant to me. It's just to read that. It was just like, hypothetically, you kind of described this in October in 2019, and the first case of coronavirus was in December. So it's just kind of, again, alright, I'm going to let you guys make your own opinions up, And again, the pre-recorded news broadcasts. That was another thing as well that obviously I think a few of us have seen if we caught those little glimpses of news where they got taken down real quickly with the footage of the Italy and the US ICU units, which I've got on screen right now. And you can go to that link as well. I'm going to have all the links to everything that I put on this video in the description down below. Don't you worry about that. You'll be able to find it. And yeah, so that was pretty interesting. Did CBS News use footage from Italy for New York COVID-19 report? Yes, they did. They admitted to it and all that kind of stuff, and it's all good. But at the end of the day, come on, man. Like, these guys have got how many different cameras around the world, and they're going to use the same footage for the same kind of situation? You make up your own mind. Continuing with Event 201. And you thought the other two pages were big ones. This one's a huge one. The Event 201 scenario. Event 201 simulates an outbreak of a novel zoonotic coronavirus transmitted from bats to pigs to people that eventually becomes efficiently transmissible from person to person, leading to a severe pandemic. The pathogen and the disease it causes are modeled largely on SARS, but it is more transmissible in the community setting by people with mild symptoms. Interesting stuff there. The disease starts in pig farms in Brazil quietly and slowly at first, but then it starts to spread more rapidly in healthcare settings when it starts to spread efficiently from person to person in the low-income, densely packed neighborhoods of some of the megacities in South America. The epidemic explodes. It is first exported by air travel to Portugal, the United States, and China, and then to many other countries. Although at first some countries are able to control it, it continues to spread and be reintroduced, and eventually no country can maintain control. There is no possibility of a vaccine being available in the first year. There is a fictional antiviral drug that can help the sick but not significantly limit spread of the disease. Fictional antiviral drug? Okay. Since the whole human population is susceptible during the initial months of the pandemic, the cumulative number of cases increases exponentially, doubling every week, and as the cases and deaths accumulate, the economic and societal consequences become increasingly severe. Well, I want to firstly just touch on that, the first red box. So I guess, look, they nearly got it spot on, didn't they? I mean, you know, from bats to pigs to people. I mean, the narrative we've been given is bats to people, but the pigs, they've nearly predicted it back in 2019 in October. So yeah, very interesting, very, very interesting. I found this when I first read it. And one more thing I found interesting was the modeled part. They said modeled largely on SARS, which you look at the modeled meaning, to be modeled on something, to be designed in a way that copies another system or way of doing something. To be designed, just want to put that one there out there. Take what you want with that. And modeled on SARS as well. That didn't sit well with me either. And on to the next red highlighted situation down here. We've got, there is no possibility of a vaccine being available in the first year. There is a fictional antiviral drug. Alright, so that was one thing that really struck me as well. Fictional antiviral drug. This was something that they did and that's put on the internet last year, end of last year. And fictional like, how does that make any sense? Fictional. Okay. So what's the meaning of fictional? Imaginary. That's the meaning of it. So let's replace that. So there is an imaginary antiviral drug. So that's what they were thinking. There's an imaginary antiviral drug. That's what they were planning for in this scenario that they simulated. So I just wanted to put that one out. I just found that very, very interesting. Make up your own mind. Do your own research. Could it be possible that the coronavirus is a man-manipulated virus with Bill Gates involved in the manipulation of it? Before we make any conclusions though, let's dig deeper. I'm not happy yet. We haven't done enough research. Maybe we have, but let's continue anyway. This was an article that was made on Sunday, May 24, 2009. So, long time ago, over 10 years. And the headline reads, Billionaire Club in Bid to Curb Overpopulation. Okay, pretty crazy headline, real stuff. Alright, so America's richest people meet to discuss ways of tackling a disastrous environmental, social, and industrial threat. Some of America's leading billionaires have met secretly to consider how their wealth could be used to slow the growth of the world's population and speed up improvements in health and education. Okay, interesting. The philanthropists who attended a summit convened on the initiative of Bill Gates, the Microsoft co-founder, discussed joining forces to overcome political and religious obstacles to change. Political and religious obstacles to change. Okay, that's interesting. Described as the Good Club, It's funny. By one insider, it included David Rockefeller Jr., the patriarch of America's wealth dynasty, Warren Buffett, George Soros, the financiers, Michael Bloomberg, the mayor of New York, and the media moguls, Ted Turner and Oprah Winfrey. It's just interesting, isn't it, that? I guess overpopulation, the wording around it, and obviously 10 years later, and it's just a funny thing that, Bill Gates is involved as well. Very funny. Anyway, I'm not going to read too much into that. We're going to continue. The show goes on. So could it be possible that this coronavirus pandemic has been in the works for over 10 years? But no. We're not going to come to any conclusions yet. We're going to continue digging deeper. That's what we're going to do. All right, so we move on to this happy chap here. Speaking of overpopulation, so this is the Queen's husband. Yes, the living Queen right now. Her husband, Prince Philip. All right, so Duke of Edinburgh. I guess that's some interesting information right there by Mr. Prince Philip. So do your own research. Go on Google, have a look for it. You'll find it. I'm not going to say much else about this guy. All right, so we find our way to David Icke. So David Icke is someone that I have been following for about 3 years. He helped me make things make sense. Basically, he's a truth speaker. He's been speaking his truth for, I think it's like over 30 years. Do a little bit of research about him. There'll be a lot of controversy about David Icke, because obviously they don't like when the truth comes out. But yeah, this guy is a great guy. I feel like he's just trying to make people aware, just trying to free people's minds, and I applaud this guy, I really do. And let's just get straight into this. So iconic.com is a freedom of speech platform that he's got for the people. And look, I think it does come at a cost, that one there, but at the end of the day, at least he's uncensored, he can say what he wants. So just want to put that one out there for you guys. The actual video that I'm kind of talking about in this description here is, I've got the link at the very top there, the YouTube video. He basically talks about Bill Gates and Elon Musk awareness. So I just want to put this one in here as well. So it's basically another opinion away from the mainstream media. It's an 80-minute video, with great awareness. I just want to put this one out there. And what he talks about in this video is basically, he talks about Event 201 briefly, and just how the coronavirus moment was planned in his opinion. And he goes deeper into how Bill Gates basically runs the WHO, the World Health Organization, without any kind of health medical background, which is a bit strange, isn't it? I mean, that is a bit strange. That did catch me as well. I'm a bit in shock there, but we continue. He talks about how anyone who gets the flu or anything with the coronavirus type symptoms are being labeled as coronavirus cases without testing, to basically spike the number, to propagate more fear and unrest among the global population. So he goes into a bit of detail of this. Again, I'm not going to really talk about this. At the end of the day, do your own research, watch it. It only goes for 80 minutes. There's, like I said, there's a lot of videos coming that I'm going to give you a lot of links to, but this is a good one. I think this is a good one, and he exposes the truth. I really like David Icke. I'm a big fan. So we continue. He speaks of an admission by Dr. Deborah Birx, a physician of the White House Coronavirus Task Force, that many deaths were labeled coronavirus deaths and cases without even being tested. So I think what she was saying, from my memory from watching this, was that initially in the first couple of months, I think lately the last month or two, it's been a little bit different, but initially they were just labeling everything as coronavirus, or vice versa. Do your own research. Anyway, I'm not going to say much else about it. I'm just going to say watch that if you like. And as you can see, you've noticed there's Elon Musk awareness in there as well. Do your own research. Watch the video, and he talks a bit about Elon Musk, and it's good information. It's good information. All right, we continue. All right, so this is another YouTube video, and it goes for 20 minutes, this one here as well. And he basically talks about all roads lead to Bill Gates. So he's clearly not a Bill Gates fan. We can tell that. And he basically exposes the truth about Bill and Melinda Gates. It's a nice little listen if you want to listen to it. He only talks about it for about 8 or 9 minutes of the 20, but it's still good. And he talks about the Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison's briefing of the coronavirus smartphone tracing app, which is interesting. I'm actually from Australia, but he goes, which will become compulsory if fewer than 40% of the population voluntarily download it, and then basically ... freedom. What David Icke's saying here is he just found it astonishing that you either voluntarily download it or it becomes compulsory. Alright, so he speaks of a story about America giving $3.3 million to a Wuhan, China lab. Watch it if you want. But like I said, I don't want to go too deep into it because there's a lot of slides here. Let's continue. So, do you think it's slightly odd one of the world's richest men in Mr. Gates is now pushing an agenda of vaccine with no qualifications or background in health? That's interesting. I find it interesting. Anyway, I think we're going to go. I think it's time to go to one of these Stream Media. All right, what do you got for me, mate?
Mate, question. Yeah, do you trust Bill Gates?
I don't think I do. I don't think I do. But I mean, look, you do you, mate. If you trust him, you do it. But I don't think I do, mate. Anything else?
Will you be getting vaccinated?
There's no chance I'll be getting a vaccine. There's no chance. But look, again, you do you. If you feel like you do it, do your own research. Do your own research. If you want to get a vaccine, you get one. If you want to get that tracing app, get it. It's up to you. It's everyone's got freedom. It's their life. So everyone, you do you. Let's continue though. Alright, so this one here was funny because I was about to like do this video and this thing just popped up and I didn't even watch the news. So I was just like, you know what? Hey, I'll throw it in. Why not? I got plenty of others, so I might as well throw this in. So with Trump, well, basically he's having a go at China here, obviously. I think for kind of lying about their numbers and stuff like that. But I think the thing that got my attention was the WHO. And I'll read the thing in red here down the bottom. So Trump has accused the WHO of hiding severity of the pandemic in early January when it reported no evidence of human-to-human transmission. By mid-January, the WHO stopped making the claim as the virus spread beyond China. So I guess, look, if we go back to that information which David Icke is saying that Bill Gates is basically funding the WHO, it's just interesting. It's just really interesting. And I really hope you do your research with this because you probably, after you've done this research, you don't even need to watch the rest of the video. You probably should. There's a lot of good stuff. But I'm just saying, it just kind of gives you an understanding about what's going on here, you know. So do your research, please. Even just pause the video for a bit. Do your research about this. Come back to it because there's so much goodness, okay? So we're going to continue. Let's go. The show goes on. All right, so I guess I'm talking conspiritual, aren't I? So where did the word conspiracy theory originate? This is a big one. All right, so let's get straight into it. So CoreyDiggs.com found this one here. I stumbled across this and I actually found the same bit of information on a video I'm going to share in this actual video later on. So they actually exposed it in there as well, that the CIA weaponized this labeling of a conspiracy theory. But anyway, we're going to go into this. Basically, he's talking about, so in 1976, the New York Times obtained a document they requested via the Freedom of Information Act. Love that thing. This document was a CIA dispatch labeled Psych for psychological operations that was distributed in 1967, indicating that they coined the phrase conspiracy theory and conspiracy theorists to attack anyone who challenged the official narrative from the Warren Commission. It also has a CS indicated on it, which stands for Clandestine Services Unit. These labels have continued ever since they coined the phrase in the 1960s, with the intention of stifling any truths from getting out. Pay close attention to those using the labels and the information they are referring to. This will be your first clue that truth lies within and they are trying to defect it. The bottom line is there are hundreds, if not thousands, of conspiracies taking place all around us, legitimate ones, while they are busy misdirecting with their conspiracy theorist labels. Evidence is being dug up, they are being exposed, and what they claim to be theory is truth. There is some disputes out there as to whether the CIA was the first to use the term because it has been printed in a handful of political books from the late 1800s. The inception of the CIA was in 1947 and this psych dispatch went out in 1967. On that, the term conspiracy theory and conspiracy theorists have been shoved down our throats. It was weaponized, just as so many other labels have been used to distract, manipulate, and change the narrative to suit their agenda. So as you can see, I've got this document for you to just, pause it if you want right now, have a look at it. And go onto the website if you like and have a look. I've got dual websites for this actual Freedom of Information Act declassification with the historymatters.com as well. So have a look through and it's linked with the JFK assassination as well. That's what apparently this is all started with, but I'm not going to get into that today. That's something you can do. Again, do your own research. And we continue. The show goes on, but I just want to give you this information with this conspiracy theorist thing because every time I've mentioned anything like that, I don't mention it anymore to anyone. And honestly, like I said, this video here, I'm doing this video because the Bill Gates thing just didn't smell right to me. And I was like, you know what? I've got to get my word out there. I've got to spread the love. So you make up your own mind and do your own research. So another topic change to Dr. Rashid Buttar. Dr. Rashid Buttar, he's a doctor that's trained in general surgery, emergency medicine, and served as a brigade surgeon in the US Army. His first book became a Wall Street Journal bestseller, labeled 9 Steps to Keep the Doctor Away. What a beautiful book that's made by a doctor. Trying to say, hey, all right, I'm going to give you some wisdom so that you don't have to come and see me as often, so I don't have to make as much money. Like, how good's that? What a legend. Anyway, we continue. He's had a video that's been on YouTube, which over 9 million views, which was taken down, which I'm sure there's plenty of you that are actually familiar with. But anyway, we're going to continue here. So as you can see on this one here, this is all the, he's featured on all these high platforms in America. And yeah, he's got a few of these, obviously, COVID-19 conspiracy. So he's obviously very, he's speaking his truth because he wants the world to know what's going on. So he's obviously got immunity and 5 BGs. I'm not going to use that term because I don't want this video to get censored. So I'm going to call the 5 with a letter, I'm going to call it BGs. So 5 BGs. So we've got corrupted science, we've got toxicity ignored, facts versus fiction of the conspiracy. So yeah, he just honestly, I've listened to his videos and he just seems like a real truth speaker, and I like what he's got to say. So basically what I've got in here as well is I've got his LondonReal.tv uncensored interview. So London Real is a platform for free speaking, but before I get into that, this video here goes for 2 hours and 18 minutes. It's a great watch if you want to know what's going on with the coronavirus. I highly recommend watching it. Again, you can pause this video, go and watch it, come back to this video because I've got more stuff. I've got such goodness in this video. So anyway, this one here is basically, yeah, he's basically talking about what the mainstream media don't want you to know, which as you can see in there. And as we move forward, basically Dr. Buttar speaks about the claims that it's a man-manipulated virus, and he goes into detail of this. And this is from a doctor, me telling you about this. I'm not a doctor, I can't tell you that. So get this guy to do it for me because this guy's a legend, and this guy's changing people's lives. I love this guy. What a legend. And he's being discredited. He's even getting criticized from his family, even listening to the video as well. His family's having a go at him. It's just like, because he's opposing the narrative. So I'm a big fan of this guy. We continue anyway. So the link between the 5 BGs and the coronavirus, he talks about that in a bit of detail. He talks about the social distancing making no sense as COVID-19 is not an air transmittable disease. Only smallpox, Ebola, and trombiculosis are. Basically with that, and one thing I actually quickly want to talk about, back to the camera, back with me, is that are they desensitizing us with this? If this is true, are they desensitizing us to not be able to give love, to give someone a hug, to give someone a kiss on the cheek, or even a kiss on the lips? Because there's some people that are kind of like, oh, you've been at work, I don't want to see you, don't come near me, So it's just like, are they trying to limit the love between us? Because that's an energy transmission. That's love, man. That's connection. That's an energy connection. So I don't know. I just want to put that one out there as well. That's just come to me right now. I didn't like that. Anyway, let's continue. He attacks other doctors for basically not telling the truth about this situation. And he attacks the mainstream media for spreading non-truth, fake, fear-mongering news. As President Trump actually promotes this fake news from the mainstream media like on a daily basis. We'll get into that a bit later. And one more thing he talks about is he actually talks about all this kind of, like I'm driving on the freeway and I've seen something saying, stay at home, protect our healthcare systems and stuff. He's actually talking about the healthcare systems not like having to lay off staff because there's not many people in there because it's very blown up. Just want to put that out there. He said this. I'm just telling you what I've seen on the road. He's saying this. Watch the video, do your own research, make your own mind up. If you want to turn this video off, turn it off. What am I supposed to do? I'm just trying to give you the information, facts. All I'm trying to do is spread love, all right? And just want to put it out there right now. We're this long in. For anyone that puts any kind of hate in the comments as well, I forgive you. I forgive you. I hope that you do your research before you put those hateful comments in there. But at the end of the day, if you don't, hey, it is what it is. We continue. We move forward. And actually a couple more things that the Dr. Buttar talks about. I guess I'm stuck on this guy for the time being. He goes deeper into social distancing and why people are allowed on planes, yet there's bans in group gatherings. And he also talks about how nearly everyone that's dying in this moment is being labelled as coronavirus death as well. So he's saying that's happening far too often. He's talking about David Icke and just basically saying have a listen to him because he loves David Icke's work. All right, so isn't it interesting that the 5 BGs is being rolled out at the exact same moment of the coronavirus? Isn't that interesting? I find that very interesting as well. I mean, I'm not going to really talk about it too much, but yeah, do your own research. I'm not going to talk about the 5 BGs too much in this, besides do your own research, because I know this will get censored. I've heard of way too many getting censored. So yeah, so do your own research with that. And very, very interesting. Definitely very interesting. All right, any more questions from the Dropstream media for this one? We're good? All right, let's continue. Show goes on. All right, so next is another video I recommend about an ex-Hollywood stuntman that made a movie about his experiences in Hollywood and the negative agenda of the elites of this world. So this one here, I've got down the bottom there, warning graphic and shocking truthful information in this video. So it's exactly all of that. It's exactly all of that. But just be careful. Please don't watch this with kids. So this video here on YouTube, it got up to about 8 or 9 million views, and then it got dropped and to like wherever it is now, 3 million views, and YouTube's been censoring it. And if you don't type it in exactly as it is, you can't find it. So obviously a lot of censorship again. Freedom of speech, they're just trying to limit it. Let's continue. Alright, as you can see, the link to the video is at the very top there. So, Out of Shadows documentary. So this stuntman goes deep into how the CIA invented the term conspiracy theory. So we've spoken about that already. He goes into it a lot deeper than how I've described it, and you can read that other article as well. If you want to watch this movie, it'll give you even more description of it. So we continue. He goes into detail about the Illuminati and the Cabal and their agendas. Again, the Illuminati word that everyone's like, oh, Illuminati, what's going on? Is it real? What? So just do your own research. It's pretty simple, really. Like these days, Google, like there's a lot of censorship going on, but there's a lot of things in Google that are uncensored right now because there's good guys actually working behind the scenes to do this, to uncover the truth. And a lot of that stuff's uncovered. So have a look into it. The movie, if you want to know if the Illuminati is real or not, watch this movie. It's simple as that. But be open-minded and be wary because it's a very shocking movie. You're going to learn a lot of truths. And so yeah, just be wary of that. That's all I'm going to say. Anyway, we move forward. So it claims that this mainstream media deceive us to manipulate an agenda. Yep. So he claims movies are used for agendas to alter the thinking of the population. Okay. And he gives us an understanding that in the US, 6 media outlets under the same umbrella basically run the majority of the media in the US. And just a little bit more with this as well, is he basically goes into detail about how the mainstream media, Hollywood, Disney, the global elites, the CIA are basically a team. Okay, so this is just something, take it or leave it. Do your research. I'm not telling you to believe it. I'm just reading the facts. I'm just reading what he's told me. That's all. So yeah, do your own research. Alright, so isn't it weird that the mainstream media is basically run by the same people? So what's more weird is whatever kind of news programming, I'm going to use that word in inverted commas there, that is on the television, interesting as well, isn't it, when you put it like that, many of us accept as truth/real news with no questions asked. So I just want to put that out there. I'm not even going to talk about it. Do with it, you will. Let's continue. Actually, I think we've got a question. Oh yeah, mate, me again. Do you trust the mainstream media? No, I don't. I haven't watched the news in about maybe 6 years. And every time I hear it, I don't like it. I'm just like, oh, it's just all negative. Oh, but anyway, thanks for asking. All right, let's continue. Let's switch attention to the mainstream media in the USA and President Trump. I mean, I'm from Australia, and I guess everything's revolved around the US. They're the ones that we follow as a country, unfortunately, but we shouldn't be following anyone, should we? Let's continue. Alright, so a bit of a briefing about Donald Trump, because I mean, look, many people hate this guy, let's be honest, but a lot of people always push that onto me, and I'm like, look, I always give people a chance. I'm not going to judge anyone. I don't judge a book by its cover, but anyway, so we look at Donald Trump, and one thing that he said when he first came into office, he goes, I donate 100% of my president's salary, $400,000, back to our country and feel good about it. So that's something that I was like, oh, that's interesting. And I was like, I wonder if he kept his promise. So I did a bit of research and I found that he's donated every single salary dollar back to whatever. So anyway, this is the where he's donated all his salary to. I was really impressed. And I guess, look, I don't really want to go into all of them, I guess, but we'll go with the first one. Department of the Interior, National Park Service, maintenance of a Civil War site. Yeah, there you go. So he obviously, he's giving his money back to the people. He's got plenty. He's happy. I think he's there for a different reason, and it can be all conspiratorial, but I'm not going to get into it. So I spoke about fake news a little bit earlier with Trump, and I just want you to think about this for 1 second. Just for 1 second. You've got a president of a country during a pandemic that's claiming fake news nearly daily. Like he's claiming it so often. You look at his tweets, like ever since this all started to happen and I kind of become a bit more aware of Trump, I just started following him on Twitter, just having a look. Why not? I was like, I've got nothing to lose. Maybe he's a good guy. Who knows? Maybe he's a really good guy. Like I said, I don't judge a book by its cover. And I went into it and he's just claiming fake news so often. And it's a bit crazy that. That's a bit crazy. Think about it. In Australia, we're not used to even hearing that. If we heard Scott Morrison, our Prime Minister, say, oh, fake news, we would pay attention that way and we would be so much open-minded to a lot of this situation. But I just want to make you aware of it. Do your own research. I've got all this stuff on here as well. I just typed in Trump fake news tweets, bang, they all came up. You do your own research. Subscribe to him on Twitter and have a look. All right, so the fake news media and their partner, the Democrat Party, is doing everything within its semi-considerable power. It used to be greater, to inflame the coronavirus situation far beyond what the facts would warrant. All right, so a Surgeon General said the risk is low to the average American. All right, so there's just another story of it. Anyway, we continue though. Could it be that the mainstream media is influenced by hidden agendas and these global elites? Could it be? Anyway, I think we've got another question. All right, Jobstream Media, what do we got? Oh yeah, mate. What messages could the media be sending? What other kind of agendas could they be doing for us? Well, just imagine the media pushed positive messages like strengthen your immune system in this coronavirus moment. Can you imagine that? To defeat it? Like, I don't think I've even heard that at all. Even like from people that I've heard, because I don't watch the news, but from people that I've heard, I've asked them. I ask questions to those people. I say, because you watch it, you're pushing your opinion onto me about the news, and while you're there, you're trying to do it anyway. What have they been telling you? So it's interesting to hear that. But just basically in general, like even before the coronavirus, just messages of love and peace and even like, can you imagine that the mainstream media would kind of advertise to the whole world, let's all meditate, let's all learn to be calm, let's all learn to be living in peace, let's all, you know what I mean? That would push an agenda. We could actually live in peace really easily. I reckon that if they did it within a week, I would say within a week, if they literally pushed an agenda to be calm and to be living in peace and harmony and to love one another, I think that it'd make a massive difference within a week. That's my opinion. But you know what? Let's continue. And could it be that they have used these agendas to divide us? Division through racism, religion, and other society standard tactics. There you go. All right, so here we've stumbled across QAnon. So the Alliance, this guy here, legend. So an online truth seeker and truth speaker that's mission is revealing the truth about what's really going on, and he's fighting for our freedom. The website is backed up by the US Department of Defense, the DoD, which is very interesting, think about it, server, so that the freedom of speech won't be censored. Alright, so this website has heaps of freedom of speech information. I recommend a look, but be open-minded as it opposes the mainstream media narrative. So you've got the website at the top there, and I'm going to have the website in the description obviously below. So I've kind of been following QAnon for about 3 years now. So this is someone that popped up about 3 years ago for me, and yeah, he was just speaking truth, and I was like, oh, this is interesting, this is really cool, and yeah, I'm anyone that speaks the truth and isn't fearful of ridicule from speaking their truth, bravo, I applaud you, because that's what it's all about, speaking your truth and being true to yourself. So yeah, I love seeing this kind of stuff. And I suggest look at it. Why not? You got nothing to lose. So Full Cabal is a YouTube website, which I've got the link there as well, obviously. And it's just like a bit of an understanding about all these little things that are going on behind the scenes. It's like a bit of an up-to-date kind of thing. So you can look at it, be open-minded. If you think you're ready for it, look at it. All right, we continue. All right, so QAnon is like Ed Snowden and Julian Assange. So they're truth speakers fighting for humanity's freedom. So if anyone that knows Ed Snowden and Julian Assange, unsung heroes. If you don't know them, do some research about them, because these guys have risked their lives for you, for your freedom. They just want to liberate your mind, to liberate your rights. So good on these guys. Alright, well, QAnon is predicting elite arrests for crimes against humanity are close, as he predicted the arrest of Jeffrey Epstein, who do your own research about, but this guy did some bad things, man. You check it out. Check out the research. It's very public now. So anyway, we move forward. So do your own research, but the good guys will win. So what he's saying here is, yeah, global arrests are coming to these elites, to these people that have been basically manipulating us. So yeah, I'm happy to hear this from QAnon, and I trust this guy because he predicted the arrest of Epstein, and yeah, the rest will fall into place, I'm sure. All right, so what else have we got? We got any more questions out there? Come on, hit me with something, guys. Come on. Which of the videos do you recommend to watch, mate? Oh, well, it depends. It depends what you want. If you want to understand the coronavirus more, I'd suggest Dr. Batar's video. It's a great video. But If you want to understand a bit more about what's going on with this hidden agenda, this manipulation behind closed doors, watch the In the Shadows documentary as well. That's a good one as well. I hope that answered your question, all right? All right, is there anything else?
What's the best thing to do during this lockdown time? We've got so much time.
I'd suggest to work on yourself and to expand your awareness to what's really going on. That's the number one thing you can do. You got this time, you might as well use it. Instead of, you can play video games if you want and do whatever you want, but at the end of the day, have a balance. Play your video games, but then do your research as well. Open your mind. All right, got anything else for me? Come on.
Yeah, mate. The best course of action during this coronavirus moment.
All right, I like this question. The best course of action in this coronavirus moment is to have no fear and to lead by example, all right? That's the number one thing to do, all right? So let's continue doing that. All right, well, let's continue with the slides anyway. One last slide. What can we do to help as a humanity? So share this video and other Freedom Truth videos to spread the word. Spread love to your family, friends, and everyone around the world. Just spread love. That's what it's all about. We're here for love. We are all love. Let's just spread love. We can watch the videos, all the links in the description, and just get informed. Have no fear. Instead, do your own research and make up your own mind. It's all about you. If you want to believe it, you believe whatever you want to believe. That's what it's all about. Don't just go with the crowd in fear of ridicule. Make up your own mind. Again, with your own mind. Trust yourself. Trust yourself. All right, so another thing we can do is basically be calm, meditate, and remember that knowledge is power. Remember that together we are stronger and we are one. Also, just work on yourself and your ability to spread love. My YouTube channel is a great place to assist. I've got plenty of videos, as I'll put up these videos again here. So basically, I'm just here to help. I want to put this message out there right now as well. Please put some questions down below. Put some comments down below if you like this video, or if there's any further videos you'd like me to do, because I've spoken a little bit about what I believe in this, but I've just given you a lot of facts and resources for you to do your own research. If you want me to do a video about just purely me sitting in this chair talking, I'm happy to do it anyway. So yeah. And is there any last questions? Come on, let's do anything.
I want to give you the opportunity for any last thoughts.
All right, my last thoughts. That's a good question. I'm going to take it. So this is deep, but it's beautiful deep, all right? So look at all babies born into this world, full of love, purity, and joy. They are infinite love. It's like many of us lose our way with all the society conditioning and basically not knowing any better. But that can stop now if we want. So basically, to sustain that infinite love and allow it to grow throughout our whole life and allow it to grow throughout the world, all we need to do is lead by example, forgive others, forgive yourself, love yourself unconditionally as you are perfect the way you are. Spread love, spread joy to others. Don't be hard on yourself, but instead learn from your mistakes that need learning. And just remember that I love you. Thank you so much for watching this. I really appreciate you. And if you wouldn't mind sharing this with anyone you think this would help, I'd be very appreciative. And just all we need to do in this moment is be calm, be patient. The good guys will win this. We will win this. And the more knowledge and the more information that we've got gives us the more power and the more ability to change our lives for the better and to improve and to have more love in our lives. Thank you all. Peace and love to you all.